Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Glad to be enjoying another week of football. And Charles, this is a contest that should make a former defender like yourself very happy, that's for sure, because we got a pair of... The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from Indianapolis. From his end zone, here's Tremont Smith. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former MVP in his 12th season leading them out. He's got more rushing touchdowns than any quarterback in NFL history. Cam Newton.
And many people are having difficulty pegging exactly what they believe Cam Newton is at this point in his career. For me, when I see certain days and he's right, he can still be an accurate passer, can still get the ball downfield. And his running ability, especially inside the 10, still makes him a difficult quarterback to prepare for.
On second down and 4, Newton. And now a stoppage, and it looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. The Texans had 14-2 heading into this final week. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now because
trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Pass out left, caught by Woods. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Here's Smith to return it. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points, and because they kind of got away with one, maybe you come back and throw something similar again to show that you're not afraid, that you're not going to back down, and take your shot. Let the defense know that you're going to be there all game long.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. The 30. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st and in the red zone. Now a give to Peterson running left. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And the Texans are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. From the 2, here's 1st and goal. Peterson will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw is Ryan. That's complete to Pierce. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Ryan. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
That's returnable now for Smith. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he's got room. Uses the stiff arm. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Touchdown! Adrian Peterson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Texans will take over. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start with the option. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out, and the Colts pick it up. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force their early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Ryan. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
We gotta be big time now.
Here's Matt Hawk now to punt. This is taken at the 15. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Houston set to take over. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Khalid Kareem there defensively. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Out of the gun, Newton. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 33 yards that time.
First down, Houston.
Now a give to Peterson running right. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 81 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On a slant, here's Collins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll run with Peterson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Adrian Peterson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 21-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
That's good for a Colts. First down.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Colts on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
This is taken at the 23. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. So it's all down to this, Week 18 on the NFL schedule. And that means that once we sort things out, we'll all be set for our 2nd ever Super Wild Card weekend, which I think everyone agrees was a runaway success last year. We've got 2 games coming up on Saturday, 3 more on Sunday, and then we'll put a bow on it Monday night. That's complete. It's Collins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Now Newton. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down with Moss. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now Ryan. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
It's a gain of 22 yards. That's good for a Colts.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. He'll swing this out to Moss.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Going for it all. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Here's Nico Collins, and this offense getting set to go for another drive. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2. It was Kwity Paye who made the stop coming off the edge. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Newton. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now, think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Ryan. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
He's got room past the 30. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now Newton on 1st down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
From the 41, Ryan out of his hand. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. From the 44, Newton. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before the break. Newton. He finds his man. Complete. It's Peterson. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Hey, we get it. No time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A three-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no three-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start the drive with Peterson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 106 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. Newton on first down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First down, Texans.
Here's Newton. There again is Cooks, complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try the middle with Peterson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Adrian Peterson with career touchdown number 162, tying him with LaDainian Tomlinson for 3rd place all time, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now it's Ryan. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Fielded at the 33. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Newton. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Newton. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. From the red zone now, Newton. It's caught left side by Cooks. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
It's 2nd and inches at the 10-yard line.
Newton throwing again. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Back to throw, Newton. Open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have got it on cruise control. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He'll look to set up his blockers. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Newton now to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. Back now here on EA Sports. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And some room to maneuver. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 159 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try the air now with Newton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, Park?
Touchdown, Texans! Jordan Akins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been stymied left and right, converted only 1 time. This is 3rd and 4. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And here comes the Texans now. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 65 yards. Newton to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
Complete to Jordan Akins. A gain of 7 brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Throwing is Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Throwing again is Newton. Touchdown! 4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And the Texans extend their lead yet again. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Meanwhile, Ryan's throw into the hands of Pittman here. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Again, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Smith to return it. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
At their own 22-yard line.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got some space here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 37 yards.
And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Play action. It's Newton. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 19.
Here we go.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Ryan. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis.
That's returnable now for Smith.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Second down, Peterson again.
And some room to work. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
First down, Texans.
Again, Peterson. And some room to roam now. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they've looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Cam Newton now getting his guys ready to go for the 2-point try. Cam looking to throw. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some pop.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Peterson gets the call running left. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This is caught. And he's brought down. It's a 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an off.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Colts take over 1st and 10.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds they've had. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Houston,
it's one more win to finish the season as they wrap up with a sterling 15-2 record.
and now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis,
it's a tough loss to take as they'll finish things off at 9-8.
but they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure.